everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into AI and how it's changing the way we work.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
Definitely. And you sent over some fascinating excerpts from the book Human Plus Machine.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It is, and I think it's going to give us a lot to unpack today.
Yeah, I'm excited again.
Me too. So let's jump right in. One of the things that really struck me about the book is that it kind of flips the script on the whole robots are taking our jobs narrative.
Yeah, we hear that all the time.
Right. But this book takes a totally different approach.
Absolutely. The authors call it the missing middle.
The missing middle.
Yeah, it's this idea that the real magic happens when humans and AI collaborate like they're partners.
Okay, so instead of like a boxing match, it's more like a dance.
I like that. A dance between humans and machines. So instead of thinking about AI as a replacement for humans, we should be thinking about how they can work together to achieve more than either could alone.
I'm digging that. So can you give us an example of what this missing middle looks like in the real world?
Sure. The book talks about Rio Tinto, the mining company.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Well, they're using AI to control their heavy machinery remotely, which keeps their human operators safe from, hazardous conditions.
Makes sense. Keep those humans out of harm's way.
Right. But it's not just about keeping people safe. The data that the AI gathers is then analyzed by human experts to find ways to boost efficiency and safety even further.
Oh, so it's a two-way street. The AI helps the humans, and the humans help the AI get even smarter.
Exactly. And that's the whole point of the missing middle. It's not just about automating tasks. It's about creating this synergy between human and artificial intelligence.
So it's like a continuous feedback loop. They're constantly learning from each other.
Right. And this missing middle isn't just limited to tech companies either.
Yeah.
It's popping up in all sorts of industries.
Really? Like where?
Well, take Virgin Trains, for example.
Okay, yeah, I've ridden with them.
They're using AI to handle those initial customer complaints,
Huh.
the ones that flood in.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This frees up their human customer service reps to have more meaningful and, engaging conversations with customers who really need that personal touch.
That's a smart approach. Let the AI handle the repetitive stuff, and the humans can focus on the stuff that requires, empathy and judgment.
Exactly. And the book also talks about a company called Gigster that's using AI to revolutionize software development.
Oh, Kickster, I've heard of them. They're doing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, they are. They're using AI to predict potential production issues. It's almost like having an AI project manager.
Whoa, that's wild. So AI is not just reshaping how businesses operate, it's actually starting to reshape the roles within those businesses.
It is. And that brings us to another really important concept from the book, fusion skills.
Fusion skills. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So the authors identify 8 essential skills that people need to thrive in this new world of human-AI partnership.
8 skills. Wow, okay, lay it on me.
Well, one that really caught my eye is reciprocal apprenticing.
Reciprocal apprenticing. What in the world is that? Does that mean we're going to be learning from the machines now?
That's exactly what it means. It's like imagine learning to play chess from a computer, but also, teaching it new strategies at the same time.
Whoa, my mind is blown.
That's reciprocal apprenticing in action. Both the humans and the AI are learning and evolving together.
So it's not just a one-way street anymore. We're not just teaching the AI, we're also learning from it.
Right. It's a two-way exchange of knowledge and skills. The book gives an example of IPsoft, a company with this AI assistant called Amelia.
Amelia.
Yeah, she can actually shadow human experts and learn how to handle different situations, just like, a human apprentice would.
Wow, that's incredible. So we're really entering this new era where humans and machines are learning from each other side by side.
We are. And that's why these fusion skills are so important. You're going to help us navigate this new world and make the most of this human-AI partnership.
So tell me more about these other fusion skills. What else do we need to know?
Well, there's one called training machines, which is all about teaching AI systems to perform tasks responsibly and effectively.
So we're not just passive users anymore. We're actively involved in shaping how the AI learns and operates.
Exactly. And then there's judgment integration, which is all about knowing when to trust the AI's recommendations and when to rely on your own human judgment.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like having this super smart assistant, but you still need to know when to take their advice and when to make your own call.
Right. Because AI can analyze massive amounts of data and spot patterns that humans might miss. But sometimes human intuition and experience are still essential.
It's about finding that balance, right? Knowing when to lean on the AI and when to trust your gut.
Exactly. And the book highlights some companies that are already putting these fusion skills into action.
Oh, really? Like who?
Well, there's Unilever, the consumer goods giant.
Yeah.
They're using AI in their hiring process.
I think I read about that.
Yeah, they start with these game-based assessments, and then they use AI to analyze video interviews.
So the AI is like screening the candidates.
It is. It pays attention to what the candidates say, and their body language, to identify the best fit for the role.
That's pretty amazing. And I read that it's actually helped them double their applicant pool, and they've seen a huge increase in diversity too.
That's right. And then there's Capital One.
The bank.
Yeah, they have this test and learn culture where they're constantly experimenting with new AI applications to improve the customer experience. They even have a special machine learning center of excellence, to really dive deep into AI's potential.
Wow. So they're really all in on AI.
They are. And it's paying off. They're seeing some really impressive results.
So these companies are really at the forefront of the AI revolution. They're finding ways to harness its power while keeping that human element front and center.
And that's the key, isn't it? It's not about AI taking over. It's about finding that sweet spot where humans and AI can work together to create something truly amazing.
I love that. But this whole conversation makes me wonder, how do we make sure this AI-powered future is one that we can actually trust?
That's a great question, and it leads us to our next topic, building trust in responsible AI. Welcome back. We've been talking about this missing middle and these fusion skills, but how does this apply to, our listeners out there?
Yeah, it's all well and good to talk about these concepts, but what does it actually mean for someone listening right now? You may be wondering, is my job going to be around in 5 years?
Right, and the first thing to remember is that change the new normal. The skills that were in high demand yesterday might be obsolete tomorrow.
So it's not about clinging to what we know, it's about being ready to adapt.
Exactly. But don't worry, this actually creates a huge opportunity.
Oh, okay, so less doom and gloom and more like adapt and thrive.
Right. The book lays out a helpful framework called MELDS, which stands for Mindset, Experimentation, Leadership Data, and Skills.
MELDS. I like it, it's catchy. Okay, so let's break it down. What does the mindset part of MELDS actually look like?
It starts with recognizing that AI isn't just a new piece of software, it's changing the entire game. We need to be open to new ways of thinking, new ways of collaborating, new ways of solving problems.
So it's less about mastering a specific program and more about embracing a whole new way of approaching work.
You got it.
Okay, so what about experimentation? Does this mean everyone should be signing up for, AI coding boot camps?
Not necessarily. It's more about, getting your hands dirty, testing out different AI applications and seeing how they can fit into your work. The key here is to, learn from your mistakes.
Ah, so embrace that fail fast mentality.
Exactly.
Makes sense. What about the leadership piece?
This is huge, especially for anyone in a management role. Leaders need to create a culture that embraces AI, encourages experimentation and provides opportunities for people to develop those fusion skills.
Lead by example, right? Show your team that AI isn't something to fear. It's a tool that can help everyone do better work.
Exactly.
What about the data part of MELDS? We talked about the data supply chain earlier, but how does that fit in here?
Data is the fuel that powers AI leaders need to make sure their organizations have the right infrastructure in place, that the data is high quality, diverse, and being used responsibly.
So it's not just about collecting data, it's about treating it like a valuable asset.
Right.
Okay, last but not least, skills. This brings us back to those fusion skills we talked about.
Right. And here's where individuals need to take ownership of their own development.
Yeah.
Maybe that means, signing up for some formal training or online courses, or maybe it's just about seeking out opportunities to experiment with AI in your current role.
Be proactive and take charge of your future, right? Those fusion skills are our ticket to staying relevant in the AI-powered workforce.
Exactly.
So where do we even start? The book has some advice for us on that front, right?
It does. The first step is to identify where AI is already making waves in your industry or profession.
So do your research, talk to people, read industry publications, get a sense of what's on the horizon.
Exactly. Then once you have a lay of the land, start playing around with AI tools and platforms that are relevant to your work. There are tons of free resources available online, from basic tutorials to more advanced courses.
Don't be afraid to just dive in and experiment. The more you play with it, the more comfortable you'll become.
Right. And those fusion skills will start to develop naturally.
Another great tip from the book: network with people who are already working in the AI space. Go to meetups, join online communities, find mentors who can help you navigate this new world.
Yeah, build your AI tribe. It's all about collaboration and learning from each other.
And of course, stay curious, keep learning, and keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the AI world.
That's key.
Yeah.
But the book also emphasizes the importance of being mindful about how we're developing and using AI.
Right. It's not just about building cool tech, it's about building tech that benefits society and reflects our values.
Exactly, and that might mean having some tough conversations about, how we design these systems, what data we feed them, and how we ensure they're used for good.
So it's not just about the how, it's about the why.
Right. Now let's address the elephant in the room. I know some people listening might be thinking, what if AI does replace my job?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. What does the book say about that?
It acknowledges that some jobs will inevitably be displaced, but it also argues that AI will create new jobs, many of which we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not just about jobs disappearing, it's about a shift in the types of jobs that will be in demand.
Exactly. The key is to be adaptable, stay curious, and never stop learning.
Easier said than done, right? But how do we make sure we're prepared for whatever the future throws at us?
The book has some good advice. Focus on developing those uniquely human skills that are tough for AI to replicate. Things like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving.
The things that make us human, the things that make us valuable.
Right. And be open to exploring new career paths that might emerge as AI becomes more integrated into different industries.
Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and try something new.
Absolutely. And embrace lifelong learning. The world of work is changing so fast, so staying current is essential.
So never stop learning, never stop growing, and never stop evolving.
Right. And that doesn't necessarily mean, running back to school for another degree. There are tons of resources available online, from free courses to industry-specific certifications.
And like we said before, find your AI tribe. Surround yourself with people who are knowledgeable about AI and how it's impacting the workforce. Learn from them, share your experiences, and support each other.
So find your people, build your network, lean on each other. The future of work is a team sport.
I love that.
AI is undoubtedly going to change the way we work. But for those who are willing to adapt and embrace the change, it also presents incredible opportunities.
It's not something happening to us, it's something we're creating with AI.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And as we enter this new era, it's up to all of us to ensure that it's a future that benefits everyone.
That's a great note to end on. We'll be back in a flash with the final part of our deep dive. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into human plus machine. We've talked about how AI is shaking things up for both businesses and individuals, but what about the bigger picture? What does this all mean for society?
That's the million-dollar question. One thing that really worries people is that AI could make existing inequalities even worse.
Yeah, like if all the benefits of AI only go to like a select few while everyone else gets left behind. The book talks about that, right?
It does. The authors really hammer home the importance of ethics. When it comes to AI, we need to make sure it's being used to create a more just and equitable society, not one that, widens the gap between the haves and have-nots.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about how we choose to use it.
Exactly. They advocate for a human-centered approach to AI, one that puts human well-being and values at the forefront.
Okay, I like the sound of that, but what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, it means making sure that diverse voices are involved in developing and regulating AI. We need to think about how AI will impact different communities and, take steps to prevent any negative consequences.
So making sure AI is a force for good, for everyone, not just a select few.
Exactly. The book also talks about how important education and training will be. In this new world, we need to equip people with the skills and knowledge to thrive in an AI-powered future. And that means more than just technical skills.
Right, we're talking about critical thinking, problem-solving, adaptability, all those things that help us navigate a world that's constantly changing.
Exactly. The authors believe that AI has the potential to unlock human potential in ways we haven't even imagined yet. Think about it. If AI can take care of those routine, repetitive tasks, it frees us up to focus on more creative, meaningful, and fulfilling work.
So it's not about AI replacing us, it's about AI helping us become more human.
I like that. And I think it requires us to rethink our whole attitude towards work. We need to move away from this idea that work is just a means to an end, a way to earn a paycheck.
Yeah.
And start seeing it as an opportunity for growth, purpose, and even joy.
Finding meaning in what we do, not just going through the motions.
Right. And the authors believe that AI can be a powerful catalyst for that kind of transformation.
So human plus machine, at its core, it's a call to action. It's a challenge to rethink our relationship with work, with technology, and with the future we're creating.
It reminds us that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we actively build. And by embracing this idea of the missing middle, by honing those fusion skills, and by always putting human values first, we can create a future where AI empowers us to build a better world for everyone.
That's an inspiring message. Thank you so much for taking the time to walk us through all of this. It's given me a lot to think about.
It's been my pleasure. And to everyone listening out there, keep exploring the world of AI. It's a fascinating field, and there's always something new to learn.
And we'll be here to help you navigate it all. Until next time.